Hi everybody. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a knockdown texture on your wall using wall mud. We're here in my woman cave. Let me give you the 5-cent tour. I've already got my sheetrock up. I've built my closets here in my woman cave. And we're going to do something called a knockdown texture. We're going to use something called wall compound. They also call it joint compound, and you'll hear it called wall mud. Now what it is, it's a creamy-like paste. It can vary in thickness, but you smear it on with something called a trowel. It's also called a knife or a blade sometimes. Here is the one I have. We're going to be using. Okay, see how big it is? And the wall mud tends to be, well, it can vary, but it typically is gypsum. It could be a blend of things, but it's not unusual for them to use limestone and also talc. Okay? So they do tend to perform similarly. I'm also going to apply this with my hands. There are people who say to do a knockdown texture, you need this machine to splatter it on the wall, spitting it out for you, but you don't. I'm going to use gloves. I used to do it with my bare hands, but I decided because of other chemicals that are present in the blend, it's not a great idea. Let me show you what you can accomplish with wall mud besides just doing a knockdown texture or making smooth walls. Over here above my door, what appears to be like a traditional crafted look of crown molding is actually plastered with wall mud. But that's a different video and a little more advanced. I will also take you into my bathroom. I remodeled myself and give you a look at what I've done with some wall mud in there from a more artistic standpoint. Okay, here we are. There's my floor mosaic, one of my pride and joys. Towel. Taking off the towel. Okay, here we are in the shower. I did this faux fish fossil, and it's got an embossed quality, and I etched that into the wall with the wall mud. What I've also done is above the door I sculpted a nautilus with wall mud, and that's a little more advanced and something different. Here is what the knockdown looks like. It can vary in texture depending on how you space it all out, thickness-wise. Here's a smooth wall. And then knockdown texture in here that's different than the one in the dining room I just showed you. Another texture I accomplished was this kind of nubby texture, which I rolled it on with a paint roller. Okay, let's go back into the woman cave. That's where we're going to be doing the texture today, and it is called knockdown. I think it's called that because what you do, we're going to splatter it on the wall with our hands. We let it harden up just a little bit, 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to come down with our trowel and then knock it down, making it more flat. Okay, so first thing first, with the gloves. I am putting on the gloves now. Yes, here we go. Safety first. I used to just put my hands right in the mud and start going at it, but you know, after researching it a bit more with the ingredients, I started, you know, rethinking that. Alright, so here we are. I've got the gloves on. Now, bend over. Playing! Okay, so let's make sure you got a good look of this wall here. We're going to be doing. Let me open up my bucket of mud. Bucket of mud. I've not used this brand yet. I've used different ones, so I have found they do vary in texture and thickness, and the thicker it is, the more difficult it can be to work with. harder to smear on. I won. It put up a fight. Okay. Yeah, definitely got some chemicals in here. I can smell it. The last batch I had was more mild. Okay, so look, I just reached right in and I grabbed some. When I started pouring this on the wall, I'm just going to randomly start smacking it around, like kind of spanking the wall with my hands. And just kind of letting it get wherever it gets. Oh, let me get my little step crate. Okay. Here's how I do it. You ready? Okay. Get it all over and just kind of, you know, and then I just kind of randomly go around. Than what I'm used to, but that's okay. I'm flexible, I'm spontaneous, I can roll with it. Alright. Okay, I'm going to go over this whole wall like I'm doing. And then we're going to let it set up for like a little bit. This is firm enough. We're not going to really have to let it set up. I mean, it's really not that thin. It's on the thick side. Okay. When I did the knockdown in my dining area, you could actually see the shape of my hand in some of the areas. It ended up being kind of charming, but it was, they were a little too many of them, so I had to kind of get rid of the hand look and flatten it out a bit, but you know. Okay, need some more mud. After I get this on the wall, I'm just going to start knocking it down. We won't need to wait. Oh yeah! Once I do the knockdown in my woman cave here, I'm going to paint this room, then I got to do the floor and the ceiling, and then my house is ready to sell, and I'm going to be going off the utility grid in a tiny house, being self-sustaining, and that seems very fulfilling. Okay, so you get the idea. It's not a very sophisticated technique, but it is effective. Some more mud. Just a little bit to go. You might not be able to see me right now, but not far. Sorry about this. Just give me a few seconds and I'm done. Okay. Alright. Alright. Here we are. See an area where there's way more than needed. Take that off. Smooth it down a bit. Come around. Kind of take a look and see if things are looking kind of balanced and on the even side of things and not too heavily textured in one area but not another. It's looking pretty good. Got a few spots to fill in and we're going to knock this down. And then I got one wall done in my woman cave. Alright. Okay. Alright. How's that? Maybe a couple more. Just get the extra off my hands. Filling in wherever it looks a little bare. Then you can come in and do the squeegee technique. Get off any extra, don't waste. Okay, waste not, want not. Alright, sink down low. Could use some more action. Sick here. Okay. Alright, we're going to knock her down. We are ready. Okay, taking off the gloves. Now let's grab the blade and start knocking the shit down. Put my little lid on my little bucket. I've been dreaming about my little tiny house. Alright. So, now, the blade, also called a trowel, and a knife. Let's see here. One last look, make sure everything's meeting my visual approval. I'm going to grab the glove for one last little. Take off some extra, where it's a little more than necessary. Look for a few more blank spots. And we're ready. Okay, we're ready. I'm not just teasing you, I'm serious this time. Okay, knockdown texture can look way more interesting, I think, than just smooth walls. But I did do a smooth wall in my kitchen because it's easier to clean and seem more practical for that room. Okay, what I'm going to do, when I start knocking this down, I'm going to hold it a bit at an angle, not like totally parallel with the wall, but I'll play with the angles, but you'll see. What I like to do is kind of go across, come back in a different direction. It's okay that you're random about it. Don't worry about perfection here. See how fast this is? Pretty simple. So hard. Oh man, you can really smell the chemical in this one. I will not be buying this one again. I do not like how thick it is, and the odor is a bad sign. My next house is going to be built with green, eco-responsible material. Because this mud is so thick, I'm having to use more pressure when I'm pressing across. Now, after you think you're done, step back. Take a look. Look for any high points or spots you missed. I'm seeing some now. Let me go tackle them. Okay. Once you do your knockdown, if you find you missed some and it's raised, you can either kind of scrape it off with the blade, you can sand it, you can chisel it, but you can remove it, so don't freak out, okay? It's not necessarily set in stone. Alright, let me take a look. Looking pretty good. Pretty happy with the results. Way more interesting than a smooth wall. This is also a great way to pretty up a wall that is damaged. Okay. There we are. I'll give you a close-up look now. Take this off the tripod. Okay. You can see the dark spots. That's where the wet wall mud is that just got knocked down. And the bright white is the dry compound on the sheetrock at the base. This wall is going to be getting it as well. The same treatment. The same thing over here. Thank you for watching my video. Feel free to comment